Assalamu alaikum everyone. Somebody sent a very interesting question today. I migrated to a new place and have no friends, neither family. I still feel lonely and fearful of how this place would treat me. I read that Yusuf alayhi salam, the Prophet, faces similar situation. How did he get through it? So the question is really about a couple of things. First of all, it's about loneliness, but it's also about anxiety and fear of meeting new people or how you're going to be treated. So I wanted to talk a little bit about both of them. First and foremost, from Quran point of view, one of the tendencies or needs that human beings have, and that's part of the origin of the word insan also. The word insan is argued to be from nisyan, which means forgetfulness, that human beings are forgetful. But it also could be from uns. Insan could be from uns, which means human beings need affection. Human beings need to connect with other human beings. It's a natural desire for human beings to not want to be alone. We are, as some sociologists put it, social animals, right? So we cannot just survive in a silo or in solitude. We feel the need to connect to other human beings. But that need can actually become unhealthy. And what that means is that we'll do anything we can to try to fit in with other people. That's one kind of extreme that develops. So I want to dress in a way that everybody else is going to find me more acceptable. Or I'm going to speak in a way that everybody else is going to find me more acceptable. Or I'm going to act in a way that's more appropriate or more accepting of these people because I want to fit in with them. I don't want to feel rejected by them. I don't want to feel like I'm the strange one or the weird one. A lot of times Muslims, because of our practices, because of our religious tradition, because of our values, when we go to a new society, maybe especially a non-Muslim society, we might feel like we're the odd ones. We're the strange ones because of how we dress, or we're the strange ones because of the way we pray, or we're the strange ones because of our dietary restrictions. Everybody at the office is going to the bar, and they're going to go hang out, and I'm saying, I don't go to bars. And so they're socially outcasting me, etc. And that can make you feel like you're in some sense inferior, because human beings also, they're afraid of feeling rejected, and when they're rejected, they don't feel like they're better than others. In fact, they start feeling that they're being judged by others, and in some sense that they're inferior to others. In the West, a lot of times Muslim kids, in order to fit in with their friends, try to act extremely non-Muslim, because in their minds they start thinking, maybe if I reject this identity altogether or do everything I can to get away from it, I'll be more acceptable to my friends or my society if I imitate everybody else. So about that, before I get to this question, just a brief comment, and that is that Allah gave us this profound concept of slavery to Him. That I have given up my pride and I've given up my desires in some sense to His, what He wants for me. And I've left my concerns in His hands. And even though, of course, I still have desires, I still want things in life, I've put them on a limit and I won't cross what Allah doesn't want me to cross. Now, why is that important? It's important because once you accept Allah's slavery, in many ways, it actually frees you from other kinds of slavery. I'm no longer so drawn to fit in with everybody else and for them to dictate to me how I should look, or how I should talk, or how I should behave. They're no longer dictating that to me because I freed myself from the slavery of fashion or the slavery of the culture. I freed myself from those slaveries. I'm only accepting Allah's slavery. And yes, of course, I can dress the way I like. I can hang out with them too. There's all those socially acceptable things, but I won't cross a certain line, and I'm completely comfortable with that. As a matter of fact, when they cross a line that Allah does not want them to cross, instead of feeling like I'm missing out, I feel like they're missing out. And instead of feeling sorry for yourself, you would actually feel sorry for the other. Not that you would say that to them, but you develop that mindset that you're completely content with the life that Allah has given you. That's one part of this issue. But the other is you're going to a new place, even if you're not in a non-Muslim society, you just want to fit in. And you don't know anybody else, and you have this anxiety, how am I going to make friends, and things like that. And the example you gave is that of Yusuf alayhi salam. It's a pretty extreme example because I'm pretty sure you're not getting thrown in jail. Because Yusuf alayhi salam got thrown in jail. That's a hostile environment. And that tells me that in some sense, maybe in your mind, a person like that might feel like they're in a very hostile new environment. And that may be something you've created in your mind, these negative thoughts, and you made them bigger than they actually are. So the first remedy that I would recommend here is to really battle your thoughts and really conquer your state of mind. Like you have to be in control of your mind to get rid of negative thoughts. People are looking at me funny. Why are they looking at me like that? I think everybody else thinks I'm strange, or I'm not going to fit in. Nobody's going to like me here. I don't have any of my friends here. When you have these thoughts all the time, they will get worse and worse and worse in your minds, and you'll see negativity that isn't even there. The other thing about these kinds of thoughts is when Allah describes in Quran the principle that in shakartum la azidannakum, if you're grateful. And by the way, you cannot be grateful unless you're positive. If you're thinking about negative things all the time, it's impossible to be grateful. If you're thinking about good things, every time you think of a good thing, you thank Allah for the good thing, you become grateful. Allah says, if you're in fact capable of being grateful, Allah will give you more and more and more and more and more. In other words, positive thinking opens the doors from Allah for more good things to come your way. You'll start making friends, you'll start finding more people, and the kind of person you are is the kind of person you will attract. So if you're a positive person, and you're a good person, you'll find other good people around you will start to gravitate towards you. If you're a negative person, if you're inhibited, then you might find people that are similar to you, or might find people that want to take advantage of that against you. So you'll invite more negativity by becoming negative, and that's the first thing I would recommend, is that if you're in a new place, that first of all, fight your mind, fight those negative thoughts and get rid of them, and be grateful that Allah has given you a new opportunity. Understand also you're not the first one. You know, from ancient times, people used to send their sons to go travel, because you know there's no opportunity for work, or the farm is dried up, and we want you to go do trade and make a life for yourself. And they used to take their children, and they used to have these teary goodbyes at the docks of a ship. And these kids are boarding, their sons are boarding, their daughters are boarding onto these ships, and these ships sail away, and they will not see their children for many, many years. That's a reality. It's mentioned in Surah Yasin. وَآيَةٌ لَهُمْ أَنَّا حَمَلْنَا ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ فِي الْفُلْكِ الْمَشْحُونِ. It's a miraculous sign for them that we allowed them to board their children onto loaded ships that are going to sail away. And those young men, young women, they're going to be lonely somewhere. They're going to be in a new world, a new society, maybe even a new language that they don't understand. But that's the remarkable thing about human beings. Allah made us capable of adapting. Allah made us capable of learning a new environment, learning a new culture. You know, something I personally relate to is that about myself, I've actually never really truly had a home. You know, my father, because of his work, traveled a lot. So I was born in Germany. And when you're born someplace, you think that's where you're from, that's who you are. But I only spoke German you know, until I was in kindergarten, and then he got transferred, and we moved to another country. We were in Pakistan, and all of a sudden, I'm around all my cousins who speak Urdu, and I'm speaking German. And in 6 months' time, I had to learn Urdu to speak to them, and now I forgot German. And I have no other friends except these new people that I'm around. And we were there for 6, 7 months, and he got transferred to Saudi Arabia. I went to Saudi in the 80s, and everybody around us was Saudi, they're Arab. And they didn't speak any Urdu, and definitely didn't speak any German. So now I feel isolated on top of that. And I went to this, you know, so they put us in a Pakistani school, and I learned Urdu more so, and I got this education, and I'm kind of feeling like this is not really my country. I'm here, but this is not really my home. We're just here for a little bit. And then my dad got transferred again, went to Pakistan again. Then we came to the United States. And when I came to the United States, I didn't speak a sentence of English. The only English I ever heard was the Ninja Turtles. I didn't know any other English. And when I went to school, everybody made fun of me. Teacher would ask a question, I would answer in my very heavy accent, and everybody in class would make fun of me. The way I dressed was not like all the other kids dressed. I dressed from clothes my mother bought me from Saudi. And they're pretty funny. And I dressed like that, and I got made fun of. And it made me want to learn the language so I won't be made fun of. The point I'm trying to make is if you're in a new place, Allah will help you adapt. If I can adapt to those different situations as a child, you can definitely adapt as an adult. The other thing you want to do is, how do you battle negative thoughts or feel constant loneliness? Put yourself in positive environments. Go join the gym and go exercise. Go start playing some sports. Make some friends like that. Do something productive. Go to your local masjid. Pray. Say salam to, after you say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, how about another assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and hey, my name is this, I came from this town. Make some friends. It's okay. That's how we're supposed to be. One of the best places you can make really good friends is actually the masjid. When you go pray, not Jumu'ah, everybody comes to Jumu'ah, but if you go to like a Maghrib or a Isha on a weeknight, the people who on a working day take time out from their busy day and go to Allah's house and show their respects, those are special kinds of people. And I would want to be friends with some people like that. So if you go there and make those kinds of friends, that'll help combat your loneliness. Plus, the masjid is a place where you feel tranquility anyway. There's an angels descend and tranquility comes to you, so your anxiety is going to go away. You're going to feel a lot better about yourself. So, you know, it is difficult transitioning, but it's something that you will be able to do, and Allah will help you through it. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.